China accusing the CIA of sissifying, sissy panting. They used a very strange word. Their young men. Could that be true? I think it's absolutely true, and I absolutely believe that it has occurred here too. And I'm not saying that it was just the CIA. I'm saying that certain agencies have done this, and they've done it for a reason. Let's get into it. With the rise of K-pop and guys wearing makeup and the stark increase in transgender, non-binary, y'all know those are trigger words. I'm trying not to get flagged here. China has officially come out and said that the CIA has done this purposely, especially in the Far East, where, you know, Japan, and we have a lot of control in Japan, and it has started to bleed over into China with their K-pops, their boy-girl bands, and I believe that China is absolutely onto something. You know, they had a plan after the war, World War II, that was called the Triple S, I believe it was, where it was sports, sex, and screen. Okay, so the plan was, and you're gonna be like, what? That happened here. Okay, the plan was to distract the sheeple with sports, sex, and the TV screen. Is anybody thinking, holy freaking crap, that's exactly what has gone on over the last couple of decades? Yeah, and we can see, but what their concern is many reasons, and we're seeing it here. We're seeing a very low birth rate. It's in Japan, same thing. They're seeing a birth rate that will not even keep up with the dying population. You know, I forget what the number is that you need to sustain your population, but they're not even keeping up with that, and the Caucasian people are not either here in the United States. Hispanics are, but even them, it's low. African Americans is around the same as Hispanics, and all of this can be tied into the sports, the sex, and the screen. And by sex, I don't mean actual sex. I mean the screen sex, porn. I mean, I've done a very comprehensive video on the weaponization of porn. If you haven't seen that, I will put that at the end of this video. It'll be in a little box and you can click on it. And it goes through the people that created all of the porn industry and what their real motives behind all of it were. And then we have, of course, the sports and the screen. And I mean, I'm sure anybody over the age of 30 can see that there has been a very weird just change in the way that everything is. The way that dating is, to where, you know, people aren't, like in Japan, 30-year, almost, it's a huge number of 30-year-old men in Japan that are virgins, that have never had a girlfriend. Which obviously, you know, I'm not saying get into the degeneracy of it. What I'm saying is they are not going out and socializing. They're not going out and meeting people. They are playing games. They're watching TV. They're watching Pornhub. And Pornhub is a lot easier than actually having to put on some pants, pay for a dinner, be nice to a girl, create a relationship, you know, all of those things that normally we would be doing, right? And then of course we have sports where it's like, shut up, I'm watching my sports. All day. We've got the high school, the college, the NFL, which high school I don't have a problem with because usually you're actually going there and actually watching it. But China's actually, you know, has put this all together, which many of us already have, but it's kind of bad that I'm like taking up for China. We have to take up for a dictatorship to call out the insanity that's going on over here. But, you know, they're saying that they are sissifying their men. Like they're making them a lot more feminine. And we see that here. But what people need to be concerned about is most people don't see this. A lot of us see it, but most people don't. They just think it was just the natural progression of people being more progressive, people being more accepting, and all of these things. When you get down to it, it's not. And even if you are someone that is in that realm, like you feel that, you know, you should be wearing makeup or whatever the case may be. They're called soy boys here. You need to understand that this was not a natural progression. It wasn't a progressive thing. It was a social engineered thing. And if you want to cry victim about anything, this might be what you want to cry victim about, because your testosterone level is decreasing. That's shown 100% across the Western world and into the Eastern world. Testosterone dramatically decreasing. You know, people think it's like, oh no, that's just how things are. It's, well, you know, and then one day it's like, it pops in their head like, holy crap, and then sometimes it's too late. And I'm not trying to tell anyone how to live their lives. I'm merely pointing out that this social engineering has been going on. And we now have entire governments calling it out for their own people. They don't care what goes on over here. But with them calling it out over there, it's the same exact thing that happened here. And it's what many of us have already said. And people think that, oh no, y'all, it's not. It was not a natural progression. It's not how mammals at all progress. Even humans with higher consciousness, it's not. You always have to have a balance of the male energy, the female energy, in order to sustain humanity or any population. Could you imagine if you just had all female birds? We wouldn't have birds for very long now, would we? That's what's going on. Anyway, it was just very interesting to hear them come out about that, because it's something that many of us have been censored over. Many doctors have been censored over saying essentially these same things, but in more medical terms. I did an entire video on the medical community that is committing fraud with these kids, you know, by putting out these fake papers, these falsified, peer-reviewed. They're not peer-reviewed, they're falsely peer-reviewed, meaning it's essentially like you getting your brother to sign off on your paper. Like, you know, obviously you have some kind of interest in it, and that's what they've been doing. And I'm not going to go into all that because that video was banned in almost every single country, including the United States. Makes you wonder, huh? Why would putting out real information about the medical community abusing children by telling them that this is what, oh, this is normal, this is all normal. Put your kid on hormones at 5 years old, all of these things. Why would that be harmful? For me to expose that, or for Dr. I think her name's Kapel or Patel, and the American Pediatric Association. They've been deemed a hate group by the ACLU. The American College of Pediatricians. American Pediatrician Association. One of them. APA. It's because it's socially engineered. What their sinister reason is could be many things. But don't be scared to share this information, even if you think that it might make your friend upset, or, you know, your sister has a child that she's allowing to get involved in. Okay, yeah, that's just how kids are these days. Share it, because this is not to be harmful or hateful towards anybody. It's for you to know the manipulation that has occurred. And you can look into the medical research. Actually, my video is still on BitChute, so I'll share that in the link in the pinned comments. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe.